The podcast is now arriving. Enjoy your time.
Hello, ladies and gents, and welcome back to everyone's favourite sports podcast, the Wicked Train podcast. There's five of us if you count myself, and one newcomer to my bottom left here on my screen, and that is Jack Harris. How you going, mate?
Pretty good, mate. Had a day of footy, so I'm a bit tired, but feeling good, mate. Good to be here.
Well, see, you and Fast are Fast, the newest one until you came in. So, how are you feeling? You can step up and claim the spotlight.
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I think I'm a better fit than Vass, just because I've been following the Wicket Train since day one, unlike him. So I think it's gonna fit well.
Lovely stuff, lovely stuff. We're also joined by everyone's favourite, Caleb Matho. How you going, mate?
G'day guys. I'm going pretty well. How are you going, Levi?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Excited to look at this round of footy. And obviously, Marshall legend, Josh the Goldie. How's it going?
Oh, yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Chilling, mate. And speaking of the devil, Vass, how you doing?
Yeah, doing good, mate. Came for the video tonight.
How do you feel about the words said by newcomer Jack Harris?
Yeah, look, he can say what he wants, but at the end of the day, I've got more ball knowledge, so doesn't matter.
Ooh.
Doesn't matter.
We'll put that to the test, and we start with round
That's
one.
nice.
First game of the round, not round one, round 12. We have the Port Adelaide Power hosting Carlton. Look, lads, I'll start with me. This game writes itself. Power by 20.
I've got the Power by only 6 points. I think the Power, they're pretty competitive. And so are the Blues. I think they, last time I said Carlton are pretty competitive, they got done by like 60 points by Sydney, but Port Adelaide aren't Sydney at the moment, so I think it will be close.
I've gone with Port Adelaide by 37 points, just off the fact Carlton have not beaten Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval in their history. And judging by recent performances outside the Fremantle game, which was pretty neutral for gather round, Carlton are no good at the Adelaide Oval. They got bashed up last year, first gather round by Adelaide. They got touched up again the couple rounds later by Adelaide as well. So yeah, I'm not really trusting Carlton just yet. I still think they're a little bit off from what they really can be. I don't see them as a top four side just now, but yeah, I reckon Port Adelaide have been a little bit poor as well, but I reckon they'll get back into form with a good win over the Blues.
Port Adelaide, the last couple of weeks, I reckon they've been a bit off, to be honest. I mean, last week against North Melbourne, what can you say? It's North Melbourne. Like, you can't really count that. And then the week before against Hawthorn, almost losing to them at home. So I think they need this win, and I think they'll get it. I think at home, they'll just be too good for Carlton. And I reckon they'll win by about 19 points.
Yeah, I've gone a bit of a different approach. I'm actually tipping Carlton by 8 points. I just want to see the Blues get up, to be honest.
Statistically, you have the best two forwards in the comp with Curnow and Mackay. I mean, Curnow's kicked 33 snags a year. One thing that does help their case, Connor Rozee out injured. That evens out the midfield battle a bit more. It's just the depth in the midfield for me, though, from Carlton. There's no one that can support Shearer, Walsh, and Cripps once they're rotating off. But we turn to a game which could, again, go either way. And it's the last week's draw, Collingwood, playing against Caleb Matho's Western Bulldogs. And then Caleb, you start us here. What are you feeling?
Yeah, I thought we were really good last week against the Swans. I think we fought hard, especially after the injuries. We got Ed Richards going down, probably our best player on the field at the time, and then Aaron Norton with a knee injury. So obviously that was a big loss for our forward line. So I think we did well, but the Swans obviously were just too good in the end. But I think at Marvel, I think that's where we play our best footy. I think if we play how we did last week, obviously with no Norton, no Richards, it will be harder. But I think if the Bont can get firing, and our midfield does all right without Richards and Liberatore, I think we have a chance. So I'm going to go the Dogs by 7.
Sticking true. Jack Harris, what are you feeling?
I'm going with Collingwood. I reckon by 5. Collingwood by 5. I want to see the reigning premiers get up.
I'll
Mike.
jump in. Oh,
No, you go. You go.
me go. I've actually got the doggies as well. Look, it could be like a bias thing because I just hate Collingwood. But look, even on the ESPN app, they're favourites. And I just think last week's performance against the Swans, like Luke Brovich come out and said that was a win, which like win in their books. But look, I think the only problem with the doggies is just down back. I just don't know if they have enough down back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've actually gone with the Dogs by 2 points. I reckon this will be a pretty good battle. Both teams obviously pretty stitched up with injury. Obviously, Norton, Waitman, Richards missing from the Dogs, but Collingwood copped a lot more with the injuries, missing Elliott, DeGoey, Pendlebury, Cox, a lot of their best 22 players. And look, Collingwood always seem to find a way to get the job done, and I think they'll show up, but I reckon the Dogs are just going to be a little bit too strong for this Collingwood outfit. I feel like the Dogs are starting to get back into some good form. They were really good against the Swans, I thought, and it'll be an interesting battle. I'm keen to see how the midfields go, Bont, Dacos, and whatnot. So it'll be a good battle, but I reckon the Dogs will just pinch it at the last minute by 2 points.
Hey, Kayla, can I ask you a question?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who is the best forward for the Western Bulldogs?
At the moment, this year.
Yeah.
I mean, they all have their moments, but I reckon Aaron Norton this year. I think he's averaging 2 goals a game, so probably him. Or Jamara at times is really good, but I'll go Norton.
And this is where I'm leading to. Norton goes out with a knee injury. Can one of those forwards step up? Is it the kid, Sam Darcy? Is it Jamara? Now, I don't know what the team list is going to be come this week, but is there another kid that steps up to the spotlight and puts it to the probably one of the better defenses in the comp with Quaynor, Moore, Jamie Howe when he's playing? That's a big ask, and I think with Norton going out, that puts Darcy Morty as second best forward, which is just, I mean, the shining light from Moore, but it makes it so much harder for your forward. Look, it can go either way. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that, look, one team's a clear favourite. With the inconsistency with how Dogs have been playing, they played all right. They did play all right at Sydney. Collingwood went all right at Fremantle. I wasn't convinced by that game, even though they held on for the draw. But I'm going to follow Jack Harris. I'm back in the minor premiers. I'm feeling Collingwood by 9 is my guess. It's going to be less than 10 is my feeling for either team.
Kind of interested with this forward line for the Dogs. You obviously said that Norton's obviously gone down with that knee injury. They've got Sam Darcy and Hugo Hagan. Does Rory Lobb squeeze into this team as a Norton replacement by any chance?
Yeah, I think he does. I think we've seen in recent games where Norton or Jamara, when Jamara was out of the team, Roy Lobb did come in. And I think Roy Lobb, he's just got to compete. I think he's not there to kick a bag, but I think he's just got to compete. And I think obviously Jamara has to step up, and Sam Darcy, who's been going really well. So I think if our forward line can sort of cooperate, I think we will be all right. But yeah, it'll definitely be interesting without Norton down there.
Well said. Good kid.
Thank you, Tegs.
I think Norton has not Norton. Sorry, I think Lobb has to play. I'm looking at their forward line from last week. You had Darcy, Vandermeer, Norton, Daniel, Jamara, and someone who surprised me actually, Riley West, who I thought was handy on the weekend.
He's pretty good.
He's had a really good year, Riley West. I think he's stepped up a lot since last year.
I think you have to replace Norton with Lobb. I couldn't tell you another big that's playing in their VFL that is deserving of a spot.
Jordan Croft, maybe.
Was he the high draft pick?
Yeah, but I don't.
Yeah.
I think it'll be Roy Lobb, but Jordan Croft maybe a chance.
That's great. That's great VFL ball knowledge if I ever put it to you, honestly.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's the way it's here. But lads, we move to the surprising victors of last week. Hawthorn take on Adelaide at home.
Mhm.
Think me and Phelps were onto something when we tipped the Hawks over the Lions last week. They were. I had them in my top 3 teams of the week. I thought they were exceptional. They just pretty much ended the game at quarter time for me. I just feel like they just put the Lions away. They made it hard for them to get back into the contest, and the Hawks crowd was up and about. Midfield was playing good. The forward line was lively. Gunston probably played his best game since coming back to the Hawks, and guys like Ginnivan, Bruce, they were just playing really well. So it was really good to see the Hawks get up, because I actually don't mind the Hawks, to be honest. So yeah, no, obviously they were very good against the Lions, but we'll discuss Brisbane a bit later, because I don't know what's happening with them now, going from a grand final team last year to near the bottom 4. So they're in trouble. So
Vegas happened.
yeah, it's a bit questionable, but yeah, Adelaide obviously last week absolutely smashed West Coast. Even without Isaac Rankin, I don't reckon it would have made much of a difference. Look, West Coast, yeah, enough said. Adelaide just put them to the sword and just put them away. Could have actually lucky that they didn't get put away by 100. But this game interests me. Adelaide and Hawthorn. I reckon whoever wins this game, their finals chances are a lot. Actually, I think Hawthorn are a sneaky chance to get near finals. Big call, but look,
Harris seems disgusted by that goal.
yeah, Harris, you seem disgusted by it, but
That's all I'm going to say.
I can see the Hawks getting up. I feel like they're starting to really put together some good footy. And this game against Adelaide can really tell a lot. So I'm going to go with the Hawks here by 7 points. I reckon they'll get up.
I think I've tipped the Crows. I think they actually played pretty well at the MCG, the Crows. Like a few weeks ago, a controversial call at the end of the Pies game. But look, I think Adelaide will be too strong for Hawthorn. I don't know if Hawthorn's having a little magical run at the moment, but I just don't see them holding up, especially like towards the finals. I just don't see them going into the 8 at all. Like they just don't have enough experience and enough leadership on the field, I don't think. But look, fair play if they do.
Yeah, I'm with Vass. I think the Hawks, their young stars are really playing well over the last couple of weeks. And I think they get the job done against Adelaide at the G. I don't think they'll make finals, the Hawks, but I think they can definitely worry a few teams come the end of the year that are trying to push for finals. So I think the Hawks is definitely not an easy game this year if you're coming against the Hawks. I think they're definitely one of the better teams in the league on their day. So I'm going to say the Hawks by 1 goal.
Split the difference, Harris. You take it away.
I'm going on Deg's side with this one. I'm going Crows by 11. Look, going back a few weeks ago, the Crows had a great win against Port, third on the ladder right now. They had a good win, and last week they played not the best team, West Coast, but they gave it to West Coast. So I reckon they're in pretty decent form. So I reckon Crows are gonna get up.
I have a verdict, but I'm very unsure. I'm reading some stats here from the AFL Little Match Preview. Hawks have won twice in the last 13 games at the MCG, but apparently Adelaide have an even worse record.
Really?
So look, I don't know. I want to give credit to both teams. I don't think that both teams are playing that bad of footy for a mid ladder sort of team. The Hawks are finding some form. Are they? I don't know. They can't put away games. like you think they probably should be sitting 7-4 with how many close games they've had this year. I think there's something about this Adelaide team though. I'm feeling something in the air at Adelaide. And look, it didn't look great early, but I mean they've lost nine in a row at the MCG, starting from the 2017 Grand Final, which isn't great. If they can use last week's momentum, I don't see why they can't win. And I reckon they do get up. I'm feeling the Adelaide victory to just put a bit of sour taste in the Hawthorn supporters' mouth and just show that Adelaide are here to play finals footy. Hawks aren't good enough yet to hold games at home, and I'm feeling Adelaide by 7. I'm looking at this next game, and I reckon there's someone right next to me on the screen who is frothing at the mouth to give another bake. Fast, you've got St Kilda and West Coast hosting. Take it away, mate.
I've got West Coast by 35 points.
Oof.
I think West Coast at home is some different kind of team. And St Kilda this year, they are completely they're probably the worst team in the league at the moment, I reckon, judging by where they should be, how they've dished up performances. You know, like it's expected that Richmond and North and, you know, like they're going to be bottom two, like West Coast as well. Like they're not great teams. They're nowhere near finals. But St Kilda, with the list they've got, the season they had last year, they should be playing finals footy this year, I reckon. But they just have dished up a very poor season. And I don't reckon it's going to get any better. I reckon West Coast at West Coast is going to be very hard for the Saints. I reckon West Coast are just going to come out from the start and put the sword to the Saints. And I reckon they'll say, look, this is our fortress. We're going to play our best footy here. I'm looking towards Harley Reid. This is going to be interesting. I reckon he's going to have another big game up at the West. I'm feeling a good game for Harley Reid. I'm thinking 20 disposals and 3 goals for Harley Reid this week. So, yeah, I don't know what to do about St Kilda. I don't know what to say about St Kilda other than they are boring. They are absolutely shit house this year, and I don't see it getting any better for them. And I'm going with West Coast by 35 points.
Very harsh, but true. Like St Kilda, they're shit out, so I agree. But surely a coach like Ross Lyon doesn't just cop that from the media, and just like doesn't do anything about it. I've actually got St Kilda winning by about like 10 points. I think it'll be close, but I don't know. I feel like West Coast, they're good. I just don't know if like again with the Hawks, I don't know if they can kind of hold this like momentum that they've got like all the way through the season. But again, I still think they're too young. But I think hopefully a more experienced Saints side will like they'll have a win over there. I think so.
Do you want my thoughts?
I do.
Do I?
West Coast by 25.
Wow.
We saw how they bet Melbourne, and this St Kilda team is half the side Melbourne is.
Yeah,
That
that
is
is
my
true.
call.
Yeah.
They are half the side this Melbourne team is. They don't have any of the energy Melbourne have. There's no big stars apart from Jack Steele and Rowan Marshall. And look,
Oh, you got to chuck Sinclair and Wilkie in there as well.
play on half back, don't like not big ball winners. And I'm sorry, I do apologise to Sinclair. He's done wonders for us as a coach for the last few years. I think I know the talent on paper in recent years is different from West Coast, but you got to think that they're showing some great footy. When Oscar Allen comes back, if he comes, I don't know when he's coming back, but you think Waterman's kicked a handful of goals. Harley Reid is playing like he's 30 years old, and this kid's a star already. Elliot Yeo, I think they've got good chemistry with a list that doesn't have the star power, and I think that's what helping their case against this St Kilda team, and they will get up by 25.
Yeah, fair call. I reckon. I reckon the Eagles get up at home. I think that they're just a different team at home. The Eagles. They had a bad week last week against Adelaide, but I think back at home, the Eagles. I think Harley Reid will get up and about. Jake Waterman will kick a few, and the Saints. They just don't look good to watch. The Saints. Like they've got, as you mentioned before, they've got stars all around the field. Really, they've got good forward line, good back line, and good midfield. They just can't put a performance together. So I reckon the Eagles win by about 5 goals.
Welcome, Bevan.
How's it going?
Only I don't even know how long late you are, but you might as well. Yeah, you seem eager to be here. You might as well give us your thoughts on West Coast St Kilda.
West Coast St Kilda. Honestly, I reckon West Coast will win. Obviously, I don't reckon by 5 goals. I reckon a bit less. I reckon it'll be a pretty close game just because it is West Coast and St Kilda. They're both known to play some poor footy at times. Obviously with West Coast coming into form, obviously beating Melbourne the other week, they should go all right. But I've got them for winning by 14.
I'm going to keep it short and sharp. I've got West Coast by 27. I'm on the Harley Reid train, and I'm not ashamed of it. So I'm saying West Coast is getting up.
I agree
like
with you
it.
there, Harrow.
Hey Vass,
Yeah, mate.
remember that podcast where we clowned on Sunday Footy?
I do remember it.
I'm gonna be brave here, and I know we haven't covered all the games. I reckon Sunday's better than this Saturday
I agree.
because we end a game with, I mean, two sides that aren't playing great footy. One side that has 1 win and 10 losses, and that's Geelong take on Richmond to cap off a Saturday, which has West Coast St Kilda at Optus at 2:15, 2:35, and the double header at 1:45 with Hawthorn Adelaide. Oh, just one side, the Hawthorn Adelaide game at 1:45. So you miss a half a footy if you want to go watch West Coast and watch the Hawthorn game. I'm sorry, but yeah, I think Sunday's better, but we'll go to the Geelong game. I'll start us off. Jesus Christ, this team needs a win and fast. They've lost the last 4 games. I think they've lost 3 of them at home. This was a team that was like 40-4 at home. Where'd it go? Yes, Hawkins is not playing his best year. I think it's probably statistically his worst year in the last 5 years. Yes, it's not. But apart from that, like, Dangerfield's coming in and out of the team, but Dangerfield's been out of the team while he's been in. And look, when he's been in, he's been great. But where's the wins? They haven't lost to the greatest of teams. I mean, they lost to Port Hill. They shouldn't be losing at home, is my theory. They got the one ground that's different to every other venue. It's skinnier, it's smaller. Play your ground. You're training there every week. And look, the thing is, I'm backing them. No, it's Richmond. I'm going Geelong by 30.
Yeah, I'll go next. I agree with you there, Levi. It'd be pretty disappointing if Geelong didn't get the win this week, considering it is Richmond, and we all know how they're going. So I've got the Cats by 33.
Yeah, I've gone the same route as Bevan. I don't think it will be an absolute belting. I don't think it will be 10 plus goals or anything. I actually think it will be a solid 38-point win for the Cats. I reckon Richmond are actually really good last week against Essendon. As a Dons fan myself, I thought they really brought the heat. They played some really good footy. They played with a lot of passion. Dusty was up and about. You know, unfortunately, Shai Bolton won't be playing this week due to concussion. But yeah, I actually thought Richmond played a lot better than they have been playing this whole season. I reckon it was their best game outside their win against the Swans. So, look, I reckon because both midfields, we all know, are pretty dreadful right now. And to be honest, like they're no good. So I don't think the game's going to be one there. It really depends. Like Richmond, 1% chance they pull off an upset. Oh, they're not going to, but slight chance that they could. But Geelong at home, you just got to back him in. Phil Cameron and Hawkins are due like really big performance, and I reckon the Cats will get up by 38.
I think the Cats, if they don't win, not that I thought at the start of the season the premiership window was open, but obviously winning 7 in a row against, look, pretty mediocre sides. The Carlton win was good, but it was definitely open there for a while. But now it's kind of hanging in the balance a bit. Like, if we don't win against the Tigers, I don't think there's any chance of, especially with you got teams like Sydney, Collingwood, Port Adelaide, all up there. But I think, yeah, I just think the midfield just isn't there at the moment. There's no star. We've got 5 C graders and maybe 2 B graders, but there's no A graders in there at the moment except Danger on his day. But look, he can't get on the park. So look, I still have the Cats winning by about 40 points. But look, if there's if we don't win, it's over.
I'm sorry, who are the C graders?
I think you got guys like Parfitt. Parfitt was a B grader, but now he's in and out of the side, so it's hard to get consistency. I think Bruin, he's classy, but he still doesn't rack up like big touches and doesn't have big enough games to be. He's probably a C plus. But like I think Bose hasn't had enough chances to show his talent. Look, Tommy Atkins is a C grader, or maybe a B on his day. Mark O'Connor, he does a role for the team every week, but look, it's just not.
I'll jump in. I reckon Cats by 29. I honestly don't know if it's a safe bet though, because the recent form we've been in hasn't really been up to scratch. But I think we should get over the line. If we don't, I think I'm giving up on Geelong Cats. I'm giving up as a Cat supporter. So fingers crossed we get over the line.
We love to hear that. We love to hear that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll go. I reckon the Cats, they should get up. They've had a very bad month. And dropping games at home, which they never used to do. And I reckon they bounce back and win by 28 points.
And to start Sunday footy, we go to a 12:30 game, which I don't know. I'm not a fan seeing that time.
Who'd you tip?
For the Fremantle Melbourne game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tipped the Demons. I think they should win comfortably, but look, could go either way. Conditions up there might suit Fremantle better.
I'm going with Fremantle. I feel like they've had Melbourne's number the last 2 or 3 years. I feel this will be a battle of the midfields. I think Jackson Gawn's an interesting matchup. Darcy will be on Gawn as well. You got Viney, Petrarca, Oliver, and you got your midfielders for Fremantle, Brayshaw, Young, Sarong. It's going to be a really good contest in there, and I reckon that's where the game's going to be won. Yeah, I'm sensing a little Fremantle upset here. I'm saying Fremantle by 7 points. A close game. I wouldn't be surprised if Melbourne got up, but just judging off the last 2 or 3 years, Fremantle always seem to play well against the Ds. They produce some of their best numbers against the Ds as well. So I think this will be a good contest. But yeah, I think Fremantle will get the win in a good contest by 7 points.
I reckon I don't really know much about the ground. I didn't even know they played in Alice Springs, so I can't really say much about that. But I'm going to go the Ds just because I think Freo, they did well to draw against Collingwood last week, and the Ds did what they should have done against St Kilda. So I'm going to go the Ds by 2 goals.
Kid, I just want to jump in. Can you tell us where in Australia Alice Springs is?
Well, pretty sure it's in Queensland. I don't know.
Oh no!
Oh, mate, this is not. We're not doing geography here. We're doing football, right? Do you want to have a second guess?
Yeah, second guess.
Second guess.
Oh, is it New South Wales?
Oh my god!
There's no way. There's no way.
I've got Melbourne winning by about 11 because knowing our form at the moment, we've been a bit up and down. So I feel like we will just get over the line and just beat them. But I feel like it'll be a tough, hard game, especially in Alice Springs. It's either going to be really wet or really humid, in my opinion.
Are we giving credit to Fremantle? Possibly. I think with the neutral venue, recent history, I wouldn't be surprised if Fremantle got up by 5, and that's where my money's going. They won by 7 last time. I reckon it's gonna be a bit closer. They'll win by a goal or 5 points.
I'm tipping the favourites, the D's. Fremantle have been playing all right recently, but I've got to go with the favourites. Demons by 23.
The last game of the round, and I'm watching Vass sit there, all excited. His Bombers are sitting second, I'm pretty sure, 8-2-1. But sorry to burst your bubble, you're playing a team that hasn't lost at home this year. Gold Coast by 12.
Oh,
That's a fair call. Look,
That is
all
my hot
signs-
take of the round, by the way. That is my
all
hot take.
signs are pointing towards a Gold Coast victory. Essendon apparently have been having a bit of sickness go around the club, so it's not too ideal before you have to go travel out and play Gold Coast. But yeah, Gold Coast as well, as you said, undefeated in home games this season. But Essendon are going to get up in this game by 7 points.
Tips. I think that I made a mistake tipping Suns last week against the Blues. I thought they'd get the job done, and they didn't. So, I probably should have tipped the Blues, to be honest. The Suns can really only play at home.
I have the Gold Coast Suns winning by about 10 points in a close one. But I think it'll just be a battle of the midfield. I think.
Yeah, I'll go next. Yeah, I'm with you there, Dex. I don't know much about both teams, but obviously, as Levi said earlier, Gold Coast, I don't think have lost a game at home yet, so it's pretty obvious. I'm gonna go for Gold Coast. And I reckon it's gonna be a close game. I reckon it'll be 9 points, the margin.
Quickly, Gold Coast, I reckon they've been pretty solid this year, and like we've talked about, they are practically unbeatable at home. So I think that Gold Coast are going to get up on Essendon. Probably, I reckon it's still going to be a relatively close game, maybe 10 points to Gold Coast, but yeah, I've got Gold Coast winning.
Quick one before we end off. The buys count as points, or are they no points?
No points.
No points. No points.
Shame for North Melbourne. Unlucky.
Oh,
Boo.
I'll see how it is. Yeah, look. Well, it's been a while, lads. It's probably been a good hour or just over an hour. So
Yeah, you've made my job tomorrow very easy. Thanks, lads.
Yeah,
it's
it's-
nine,
No problem.
6 minutes to 10. I reckon it's a school night. I reckon should go to bed.
it's been fun. It's been fun.
It's been good. It's been good. A little bit of laughs tonight.
Yeah.
Cabs provided us a nice TikTok compilation on dumbest moments on a potty. But
Yeah.
nevertheless, thank you once again, everyone, for joining and listening in to our tips video. Obviously, new face, Jack Harris. You'll be seeing him a lot more in this footy season.
Yeah.
We've somehow got him to sign on with us.
Even more cuties to the team. Yeah.
Let's go.
But nah, we hope you enjoy your weekend. Again, follow our tips. Don't follow our tips. Do what you like. But if you followed me and Vass last week, you pulled a 9. So look, fun week. Nevertheless, enjoy.
Up
Good
the
luck.
Cats.
Good luck at your sport. Hope everyone gets a win if you're playing, especially us. And we'll see you all for another one probably this Sunday, I reckon, or next Monday. We'll see. We're done.
I think.